You couldn't have a model or just a stand-in, because that character, the weight of the character of the writer, defines the character that Nicole is playing. We've chosen Rodrigo Santoro. I mean, you may be aware of him. He's a young Brazilian actor. He's a tremendously big star in Brazil.
Chanel. Chanel's appropriate. Chanel, like flip-flops.
It's clear by the way he looks that he is an artist, a kind of young Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 30, bohemian, attractive. He lives down the Lower East Side in New York, struggling to write his first novel, and is completely disconnected from her world.
I must have been the only person in the world who didn't know who she was.
He gets in a taxi and he's on his way back downtown. Suddenly, bang, this girl leaps in and this incredible frock is in front of him. And, you know, through this miasma of rain and activity, there's this beautiful face staring at him. And she's shaking and frightened, and he doesn't know what's going on. He's looking around everywhere, and there are like people rushing towards the car and flashing lights and rain. So she just says, please, please help me, just drive. And the cab takes off, and, you know, he takes her downtown, and she seems to be having a breakdown. And suddenly, we find ourselves on the rooftop garret that he lives in. This idea of the rooftop garret is part of the Red Curtain cinema. What it refers to is a kind of perfect abode where the Parisian bohemian artists, writers and poets used to live in the 19th century. It was a cheap rental on the fringe of society, a creative spot on the rooftop of the world where love could flourish away from society. We're behind what seems to be a kind of sign, a big industrial sign on top of the garret. She finds herself in this very serene place. She feels she has escaped from the responsibility, from the mythical fortress of the metropolis we see in the distance beyond the huge bridge.
It's beautiful up here. Everything seems so peaceful.
That's why when he wants to know who she is and he says, who are you? She doesn't want to lose that. So she lies and she says, I'm a dancer.
I have to get away.
I gave up my job. I gave up my job.
I'm a dancer.
We're running out of time.
Good.
You really should get up.
Okay.
All right, okay. I couldn't go on any longer with my job. I couldn't go on any longer
I couldn't.
with my job. That's why I was so upset. Camera go. Wait. Camera go. Action.
I left my work. I left everything. That's why I was so upset.
The paradox is because he doesn't know who she is and, more importantly, what she is. For the first time in her life, she's able to discover who she really is. And the more time she spends with him, the more she becomes the person that she really is, rather than the image of the person that everyone else needs her to be. And that's the way her character evolves. That's why she becomes a better and richer and more mature person. So probably for the first time in her life, she is having fun. They dance, they run in the streets of the Lower East Side. She dresses in his clothes. She probably wears his tuxedo jacket and his shirt because, you know, he's a part-time waiter. Which, by the way, is a sort of fairly classical Chanel quote, you know, simple black and white. All the time, in every choice we're making, be it design, be it the look of Nicole, we're re-quoting either icons or objects or visual winks from the history and the culture of Chanel. So then, you know, it builds and they have joy, and we symbolise through the fireworks and the beautiful image that they have this extraordinary stolen 4 or 5 perfect romantic days together. And here's where the music needs to evoke that totally unapologetic 50s romanticism. When you use a kind of very well-known, overtly romantic piece of music like Debussy's Clair de Lune, the audience are really comfortable with the idea that the story's taking place in a heightened, created world. And there we go for it. Big, delicious, sustained. My first choice in terms of that really brilliant orchestral treatment was Craig Armstrong, who I've worked with on Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge, and who has a phenomenal ability in terms of orchestral arrangement.
Volume thing, so it can just creep in, just a bit, not a big one, poco poco, yeah.
You know, I think the whole piece is about they have to be apart, but they don't want to. So there's always that feeling, you know, of no, I don't want to go.